We're officially only 3 weeks out from Captain America Brave New World hitting theaters. This movie has gone through all sorts of reshoots and trouble along the way, and now pre-sale tickets are live and things are not looking very good at all. And I want to talk about it a little bit. So let's get into it. As always, be sure to visit Criticless.com, or you can find us in the Android or Apple app stores. We're an entertainment reviewing social platform where you can make friends and talk about everything that you have been watching lately. But also, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Our channel is growing, and we really appreciate everything you guys do, throwing us those likes, the comments, all that. So hit that subscribe button down below. But on to business with Captain America Brave New World, the movie that has changed names multiple times, has had actors come in and out of the film, has been a bit of a mess. There have been reshoots, all sorts of things. There are a lot of rumors surrounding this movie, and the fact that there were test screenings of it that didn't do well, which were followed by the reshoots. There is just a lot that has happened with this movie, and it just continues to look a bit worse and worse as things go along. So if you don't remember, this movie actually, back when it was first announced, it was called New World Order, and then that was deemed too controversial for people. So they ended up changing it to this Brave New World, which I don't know what the movie's exactly about, but I don't know if that's going to end up being the best new name for this movie. I kind of liked New World Order, but obviously I like that terminology, and I don't find it controversial in the slightest. But when it's connected to conspiracy theories and things like professional wrestling and politics, and apparently that as well, then, you know, hey, whatever. So the name change, this was supposed to come out back in 2024, and now we're looking at a whole year later after this movie. And then there's been news of these pre-sale tickets, which is what really brings me to what I wanted to talk about today. There are some people kind of speculating on where things are going to be. This is apparently an analyst that's commented on a little bit, which Screen Rant is reporting on, and basically what they're saying is that after 2 days of pre-sales, it's nowhere near Quantumania, which, if you know anything about that movie, it did not do too hot. I'm one of the few people that actually kind of liked it, which is a bit controversial from what I hear, but I have not seen it since I saw it in theaters, so there's that. But they're saying that's currently 1.4 times better than the Marvels and the recent Joker film, both of which tanked, but it says it's on par with the likes of the Eternals and Black Widow and Dune Part 2 as far as these 2-day pre-sales go. But I will say I've already gotten my tickets, and I looked at our theater and it was quite empty. Typically, with how these Marvel movies used to be, when it was a day or two after, if you were looking at opening night, these tickets were gone within hours. That's not where we are, not even remotely close. There were plenty of seats in our theater. Now, once word gets out that these tickets are for sale, maybe it'll do a little bit better. But what it's saying is it's keeping the same pacing with the other films, and they're thinking that it's going to get this three-day opening above both Thor and Captain America the First Avenger. Now, let's touch on that for a minute. Both of those films were the start of the MCU before it was what we know that it is, or what it was at least. So I don't even know how that's a comparison at all, really, except for just a negative one. But this person seems to be painting it in a little bit more of a brighter light. And then they're saying that also it might challenge Shang-Chi, which was an okay movie, which I liked fairly well, but also not really interested in much more of that character. And then they're saying that it might be higher than Eternals and things like that, with it being Labor Day and getting a holiday boost. So we will see. But the other thing here is that I've seen this in multiple articles where people are saying that this might have an advantage, being that it's following Deadpool and Wolverine. And I just think that that is a terrible take. I do not see that playing really any effect on this movie. For one, this character was not in that film, played no role in it, and no one in this movie did. Also, I just don't really think that people viewed that Deadpool and Wolverine movie as an MCU entity, because it still stayed fairly separate. The only thing that yes, there were bits and pieces along the way where it pulled in things from the MCU, but it really tied mostly to Loki, which has stayed on Disney Plus as far as the television show goes. And that really brings us to also the Captain America TV series where it was Falcon and Winter Soldier. And that show was not received well at all, because basing this character, which is Captain America, who is known for unity, they instantly surrounded the entire show in division, telling people to do better and scolding them on things like race relations. And I felt like that was just a terrible take for such a unifying character to just come out swinging in that kind of a way, being like, oh, people are going to be racist about this character, when they didn't know how it was going to be perceived. And if you had just taken a more positive stance and really was just proud of this person being Captain America and this character that was already established with Falcon, and really leaned into that and the positivity of it, I think it would have been received a lot differently. But now we're coming off of that show. Also, 5 years of the MCU doing terribly. I just do not think that this is going to do well, and I do not think that Deadpool and Wolverine play any part in the success of this. Also, we have things like this, where the WWE star Seth Rollins has said that he was completely cut from the movie. A lot of people were excited about him being in it, and then he's basically saying that due to all the rewrites and problems that it had, he's not even going to be in it. He said, "Truth be told, any answer I gave you would only be my opinion on it. The script went through a lot of rewrites and reshoots, and so what I was there to do got either repurposed or completely erased." So it's sounding like he's not in the movie at all either, which people were excited about. This is just not good news for this movie. Everything about it, these pre-sale tickets, all the reshoots, cutting people from the film, changing characters' names. There was a Palestinian or some type of Israeli character actually in this, that they changed a lot of things around because people were all worried about political correctness with that. It's just, there is so much bad press surrounding this movie, and if you're asking me now, if you were really putting me under the gun, I would say that I do not think this movie is going to do well at all, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not very excited about it and don't have a lot of hope for it, because at the very best, I think if it's even a decent film, it's going to feel cut up and cobbled together most likely because of how many edits and rewrites and reshoots and all of these things have been attached to the movie. None of this is even to mention the fact that we have a non-superhuman Captain America playing in this role, and he's going against the Red Hulk, which is essentially the Hulk, but just a different version. How in the world can you have this human character fighting one of the strongest characters in the MCU? And they are really touting the fact that they are going to fight. That just doesn't make sense. I don't know how it's going to stay in any level of believability. All of this, I think people are just very worried about, and I will be shocked if people show up for it. And I think the only way that people are going to is if word of mouth is great. If everybody just on opening weekend says that this movie is amazing, there is a chance that people will show up, but it's not going to be due to critics and their reception. And I can even see critics trying to hype this movie up and say it's good when it's not, because it's the exact type of thing that critics would do with a movie like this and a divisive character like this. So this is going to probably be a very messy opening weekend, even when it comes between the general audiences and critics. But who knows? Maybe they'll be honest for once. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. We've seen how they do. So anyways, that's my take on Captain America Brave New World. Like I said, I am not exactly excited. I do not have high hopes, but I want to hear what all of you think. If I were to make a guess, it's fairly similar considering how our comments tend to look. Most people are just of the opinion that they're over it. They're over the MCU. They're over the way that they've been treated by Disney, and people have not been excited. But who knows? Maybe there's been a shift after this Daredevil trailer that came out and everybody's excited, and the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine were good. Who knows? Who knows? So let me know down in those comments, and then like I said, make sure to visit criticless.com or download the app and let us know your opinions on all the other Captain America films. And when this one drops, give us your opinion on that one. And we will be back again soon with some news, movie reviews, something before too long. We'll see. The industry has been staying a little bit quiet over the past few weeks, but maybe we'll get some big stuff drop as the week goes on. But everybody take it easy, and I will be back soon. Later.